All right. Cool. It's on time. Moving on to villains. Now, everything I've said about heroes the past half hour, I believe also applies to writing a memorable villain. Because in my opinion, the best villains are the ones who think they're still heroes. Now, there is a wonderful place for villains who say shit like, I do it because I'm evil, He-Man. He-Man. And I love Skeletor. So if you hear me doing Skeletor a lot this half hour, it's because I just love Skeletor. So forgive me. He-Man. There is a place for those mustache twirling, I do it because I'm evil villains. And that's fine. But the really memorable ones, I think, well, besides Skeletor, the really memorable ones are the ones who think they're still heroes. So, take your hero and one other character, and they're at a crossroads, metaphorically speaking. And the hero looks at this path and goes, oh my God, that is wrong, and messed up, and but it's really easy. No. Okay, this one's a lot harder. I'm going to get my ass kicked. I'm going to be a different person by the time I'm done with this. Yeah, okay, I'll go this way. I'll get hurt, but no one else will get hurt. Okay, I'll see you later. The villain goes, that is awful, and messed up, and awesome. Bye. And they don't just do it because it looks awesome. You know, I mean, yeah, that's He-Man. That's that villain. But where do they get that motivation? Where do they get the motivation to go down that path of justified villainy? There's a couple of things you can do. One is to look to yourself. Look for that. You can find that motivation, even if you're a fucking saint. You can find that motivation somewhere in you. Anywhere from and think about the last time you were wronged on any level, to you asshole, those were my leftovers. I had a really hard day at work today, and that was my lasagna. My name was on it and everything. To I've been with you for 20 years and you cheated on me with some younger dude? Fuck you. Again, this is the levels you can work on. And yes, the scale is much different, but incredibly different. But from lasagna to incredible heartbreak. Actually, it depends on how much you really love lasagna, I guess. Or any food. But anyway, everybody knows what, if I could just get my hands on you, I'd love to just, everybody knows what means to them. Everybody in this room also knows the answer to the question, if you could kill anyone in the world and you knew you wouldn't get away with it, who would it be and how would you do it? Each and every person in this room knows the answer to that question too. But you do not, I hope, you do not act on it. The villain acts on it and feels justified doing it. It feels good to get that revenge, doesn't it? Like if I could just get my hands on you, I'd love to just, that felt good to think about. Doesn't it feel good to think about that? Yeah. But you don't do it because you're not a villain. And I don't mean I'm evil. Yeah, no, fuck that. I mean genuine villainy. Another great motivation. That's where you can draw the feeling. Why would you turn down that path of villainy? Yeah, that feels fucked up when I was wronged. Yeah, that vengeance feels good. Another good motivation is to give your villain what on paper looks like a very heroic goal. When taken out of context of their method, is something a hero, a classic hero, would do. There's a couple of good examples of this. There's this old anime called Ruin Explorers. I think none of you have seen. All right, it's really cool. Okay, so Ruin Explorers is a very, very short little anime back in the 90s. And it was a fantasy thing, and there was, sadly, a very cliched, magically overpowered wizard villain. His shoulders were out to here in a cloak. The biggest, most powerful charged up spell just bounced off of him, and he just went, from the shadows. And everyone was so surprised that nothing worked, except for the rest of us. Okay, we get it. He's the invincible bad guy. How do we kill him? Can we get to it, please? I was bored already when I saw him. And I thought, this is just awful. I don't like this anime anymore. Until we saw his origin. And it's a magical flashback. We see it somehow. He's like this land's highest priest. their proverbial pope, so to speak. And he's wearing like pristine white robes and a big pontiff's cap, and he's flanked by 2 high priests. And he's going through a desperately poor part of the kingdom. I mean, we're talking about houses that are barely put together. People are like emaciated in the streets. Their clothes are filthy. They're coughing and dying. You can see everyone's ribs. Teeth are gone. It's just desperately, desperately poor. And and he's walking among them. I don't know why, but he's walking among them, and they're reaching for him. And, oh, most heavenly Father, please help us. We are sick and dying, and we need the blessing of the most highest God. And he speaks through you. Help us, please. And his high priests are beating these people away, going, get back, you disgusting thing. You are forsaken by God. Get away. You will soil him with your... Ew, leave. But he looks genuinely very sad. And there's one little cute moment where, like, this is anime for you. The cutest little poor girl you ever seen. With dirt in the right places, eyes this big, all her teeth. Shows up with, like, a little crown she made for this guy. And I'm like, string and twigs and mud and other such things. And she, like, offers it up to him. And in a nice little moment, he takes off his pontiff's cap, kneels down in the mud, and lets her put it on his head. It's kind of nice. But what it was is, he was so upset at his own powerlessness to help these people who needed it the most. Here are people who are really in need of a miracle. Really in need of a miracle. And he's the most highest priest in the land. God apparently talks directly to him. And he is the voice of God to everyone else in the kingdom. But he was so powerless to help those who needed the most. He wanted to help the poor. That's a very noble goal. Take that out of context. I want to help the poor. That's very nice. Cool. How are you going to go about doing that, Most High Priest? Well, I'm going to find the Necronomicon, you see, and its most black magic will give me the magical power I need to help the poor. This is a great idea. But no, the Necronomicon, an evil book of black magic, which has a lot of power, latched on to his self-hatred for his own powerlessness and their situation and the whole social structure, blah, 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 and sadly twisted him into a very cliche villain, sadly. But his origin was cool. He wants to help the poor. Very noble goal, very messed up methods. Could he have done it better? Probably. Hey, I'm the Pope. God told me to tell you to help the poor. So go help the poor, now! Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. The fucking Pope, he's got an inquisition. Go, go, go. Another great example of a noble hero with bad methods was from Batman, the animated series in the 90s. Yeah. Batman was up against one of my favorite of his villains from the series, Ra's al Ghul. I say Ra's al Ghul. And it's like the big final showdown with Ra's al Ghul. And Batman says, "What are you up to?" What are you up to, Ra's al Ghul? I'm playing this like, ow. What are you up to, Ra's al Ghul? Never. Well, I will tell you what I'm up to, detective. We, as a people, have destroyed the earth. We have raped her of her natural resources. We have drained the oceans. We've polluted the air. We have depleted every bounty she has so graciously given us. We are unworthy custodians, and things are out of balance. We are going to destroy the earth at this rate as a human race. Batman, I am going to save the environment. Very noble goal. Help the environment. Very, very relevant today. How are you going to go about doing that, Ra's al Ghul? I'm going to kill everyone in the world with my death ray, you see. And with no one around, the earth will be free to return to its natural green state, and life will reassert its balance. There'll be no people around, except me and my ninjas, of course, to make sure nothing goes wrong. And the environment will be saved. I mean, he's Ra's al Ghul. He's got a lot of money. He certainly could have done something a lot more appealing, like an inconvenient truth with Ra's al Ghul. Save the earth, now! Oh, yes, sir. Jeez, he's got ninjas. Go. Oh, go.